Part 1, the price of free will. Are we really making our own choices? Have you ever stopped to think if you're truly making your own choices? Are you the author of your life? Or are you just a passenger on a train of fate, guided by invisible forces? Today, we're diving deep into a philosophical and psychological exploration, questioning what it really means to have free will, and whether it's, in fact, an illusion we accept without ever questioning. Get ready, because what you're about to discover could challenge everything you've believed. Picture this: when making an important decision in your life. You think you have complete control over it, but now imagine that this decision is actually being influenced by something beyond your control. Something you might not even notice: your biology, your upbringing, your past experiences, and in the modern world, even algorithms from digital platforms. When you click on a YouTube video or make an online purchase, are you truly making a free decision? Or are you being shaped by invisible patterns that have already been programmed for you? This is what we're here to explore today: the concept of free will versus determinism. Do we really have the power to choose? Or are our choices already preordained by factors beyond our understanding? Let's unpack this. In philosophy, the debate between free will and determinism has been going on for centuries. Think about it: Socrates, the ancient Greek philosopher, believed that to live a virtuous life, we must exercise free will, making choices aligned with reason. But then you have thinkers like Schopenhauer, who argued that our actions are determined by our character and the circumstances that shape us. We may think we're choosing freely, but are we really just puppets of our biology, psychology, and society? This brings us to a question that's even more relevant today. In a world dominated by technology, do we have more control over our choices, or is our free will even more compromised? The rise of algorithms on social media platforms, like the ones guiding your feeds, suggests that we're more predictable than we'd like to believe. Are we really choosing what we want to see? Or is the content being subtly pushed on us by unseen forces, shaping our preferences and decisions without us even realizing it? Take a moment to think about how algorithms work. They track your behavior online, learning your habits, your likes and dislikes. They present you with options they think you'll engage with based on your past actions. Is this really free will? Or is this just a version of determinism, with your choices being influenced by the data collected from your past behavior? Now let's bring in some psychology. The mirror effect suggests that we see ourselves reflected in the world around us, and those reflections can influence the decisions we make. For example, if you constantly see advertisements for a particular brand or product, are you making an independent decision when you purchase it? Or is your choice being shaped by repeated exposure? The amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for emotional responses, plays a significant role here too. When we're exposed to emotional stimuli, we often make decisions based on those emotions rather than rational thought. Does that sound like free will to you? Think about it. You wake up in the morning, and you're already influenced by a multitude of factors. The way you feel, the environment around you, the media you consume. These elements are shaping your choices before you even realize it. What if the things you think are choices are actually just the result of your brain reacting to external stimuli? This is the essence of the determinism argument. Philosophers like Baruch Spinoza argue that we're not truly free. Our desires, actions, and even thoughts are all shaped by external forces, whether they be genetic, societal, or environmental. In a sense, every choice we make is the result of everything that has come before it. But let's take this a step further. What if our modern world is amplifying this effect? With the rise of big data and artificial intelligence, we're living in a time where our choices are more predictable than ever before. Companies and governments can analyze our behaviors, preferences, and even our psychological patterns, and use that information to influence our actions in ways we might not even be aware of. So, can we really say we're choosing freely when the odds are stacked against us? Let's not forget about the illusion of control, a psychological phenomenon where we believe we have control over events that are actually beyond our influence. This illusion can be seen in countless areas of life, from the way we approach relationships to how we manage our careers. We may think we're making independent choices, but in reality, we might just be responding to the world around us in ways we don't fully understand. So, the question remains, do we have free will, or is it all an illusion? Are we truly making our own decisions, or are we just reacting to the environment, our biology, and the subtle nudges from algorithms and external forces? Part 2, the illusion of choice. Breaking down the layers of determinism. Now that we've explored the tension between free will and determinism, let's take a deeper dive into the complex layers that influence our sense of choice. You might be wondering by now, is anything really under my control? Well, the deeper we go into this question, the more we realize how many forces are shaping our decisions. Let's look at history for a moment. Think about the Enlightenment era when thinkers like Immanuel Kant championed the idea that human beings are free agents, capable of making rational decisions independent of external influences. Kant's vision of autonomy was revolutionary at the time. It laid the groundwork for the modern belief in individual freedom, empowering us with the idea that we could choose our destiny. But did it really set us free? Or did it simply ignore the invisible chains that were already in place, shaping us long before we ever had the chance to exercise autonomy? Kant believed that humans could rise above their instincts and follow reason. But what if our reasoning itself is compromised? What if, like B.F. Skinner, the behavioral psychologist, suggested, our thoughts and actions are merely the result of conditioning? Skinner argued that humans, like animals, are driven by rewards and punishments, a system of stimuli and responses that shapes every action. Is this free will, or is it just a learned behavior, deeply embedded within our psyche? This concept is especially relevant in today's world of social media, where every like, comment, and share can reinforce our behaviors, making us feel validated and, in turn, guiding our future decisions. Algorithms are the ultimate modern-day version of conditioning, shaping our behavior in ways that even we might not fully understand. What's even more mind-blowing is the role that our biology plays in all of this. Let's think about neuroscience for a moment. Have you ever heard of the concept of neural pathways? Essentially, our brains are wired to form patterns based on experiences. Every decision you make strengthens certain neural connections, which makes it easier for you to make similar decisions in the future. This is one of the ways our choices can be influenced. Long before we consciously choose them, these pathways create shortcuts in our brain, making our behaviors predictable, almost like we're following an invisible map, laid out for us by our past experiences, genes, and circumstances. Imagine a simple choice like deciding what to eat for breakfast. On the surface, it seems like a small, innocuous decision, but dig deeper. What happens if you always opt for the same type of food because it's what you've been exposed to your entire life? What happens if you've been conditioned to think that certain foods are better for you based on advertisements or societal expectations? In reality, your decision isn't all that free. It's heavily influenced by the neural pathways you've formed over time, which lead you to choose what feels safe and familiar. Let's now take a detour into psychology, specifically the mirror effect. This is the idea that we are influenced by how we see ourselves, reflected in the world around us. We internalize societal norms, values, and expectations, shaping our behaviors in subtle, unconscious ways. Have you ever caught yourself making a decision because you wanted to appear a certain way to others? Maybe you dressed a certain way because you wanted to fit in, or you posted something online to garner social approval. This is the mirror effect in action. And it shows just how much our environment can influence what we perceive as our own choices. But it's not just about societal influence. Our own emotions also play a massive role in how we decide. The amygdala, the part of our brain that processes emotions, can trigger decision-making based on fear, desire, or any other emotional reaction. This means that even when we think we're making a rational choice, we might actually be making it because of an emotional trigger. The danger here is that we often mistake emotional responses for independent thought. We may believe we're choosing freely, but in reality, Our decisions are shaped by deep primal reactions that we don't always control. At this point, you might be asking, if I'm not in control, then what is? It's a good question and one that doesn't have an easy answer. But here's where we need to pivot and examine the modern technological landscape. In today's world, our choices are not just influenced by our biology or psychology. They're being shaped by technology in profound ways. Algorithms, for example, don't just influence what we see online. They influence our behavior in a way that's almost invisible. The apps we use, the news we read, the entertainment. We consume all of these things are tailored to us in ways that we often don't notice. What's worse, these algorithms are designed to keep us engaged, to keep us coming back for more. This means that while we might think we're choosing what we want to see in reality, we're just following the path set out for us by the algorithm. The role of artificial intelligence is only going to grow in the coming years. In fact, some experts argue that AI could be the biggest determinant of human behavior in the future. Imagine a world where AI predicts your every move based on your preferences and subtly guides you to make decisions that align with what it wants you to do. Is that free will, or is it just the next level of determinism, where we're no longer even aware of the forces shaping us? We've now come full circle to the original question: are we really making choices? Are we truly in control of our lives? Or are we just living out a script written by forces we can't even comprehend? The more we examine the evidence from philosophy, psychology, and technology, the harder it becomes to believe that we have complete control over our decisions. In the end, the question isn't just about whether we have free will. It's about understanding what we're really free to choose. In a world where our biology, emotions, society, and algorithms are all influencing us, can we ever truly be free? Or are we simply navigating the complex web of influences that have been cast upon us? And here's the most important part: once you start questioning these things, once you see the layers of influence that are guiding your choices, you may start to feel a sense of freedom, but not in the way you expected. Understanding these forces, accepting their presence, and learning how to navigate them may not give you absolute control, but it will give you the power to make more conscious, deliberate decisions in your life. So what now? The journey doesn't end here. I challenge you to take a closer look at your own life and question every decision you make. Are you truly free, or are you just following a script? Keep reflecting, keep questioning, and remember, the freedom to question is the first step toward true freedom. If you found this exploration thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need to hear this today. Let's continue this conversation, because the more we question, the closer we get to the truth.